The air is thick with the stench of iron and dread. Screams pierce the dawn, sharp as the blades that carve them. A man stands bound to a splintered post, his chest heaving, eyes defiant. The crowd, hundreds strong, chokes on their own breath. Women clutch their shawls, men avert their gazes, and children, those not yet broken, stare in mute horror. The executioner's hands are steady, his knife a lover's caress against trembling flesh. Skin parts from muscle, slow and deliberate, each strip a crimson ribbon fluttering to the dirt. This is no justice, this is no punishment, this is a spectacle, a grotesque ballet orchestrated for the amusement of a cruel crown. And as the man's lips part, whispering through blood, his words sear into the souls of all who hear. Truth will not die with me. Why did this man suffer, and why did his screams ignite a fire that burned for centuries? In the shadow of a 14th century kingdom, where stone castles loom like vultures over starving villages, power is a blade wielded by fear. Public executions are not mere punishments, they are theater, designed to silence dissent and feed the crowd's primal hunger. But one man, a preacher named Elias of Thornvale, dared to wield a weapon sharper than steel: words. He spoke of corruption, of nobles fattening themselves on the poor, of a church drowning in gold while its flock starved. His voice drew followers, then whispers, then danger. When the crown's patience snapped, Elias became the centerpiece of a spectacle so horrifying it would echo through history. This is the story of a man who spoke truth to power and paid the ultimate price in flesh. The wind howls through Thornvale's cobbled streets, carrying the scent of wood smoke and despair. Elias, a preacher with eyes like burning coals, stands in the village square, his voice a thunderclap. He is no warrior, no knight, his hands are calloused from quills, not swords, yet his words cut deeper than any blade. He speaks of Lord Aldrich, a noble whose feasts overflow while children beg for crusts. He names the church, its priests cloaked in silk, hoarding tithes meant for the poor. The kingdom rots, he cries, and its stench rises to heaven. Villagers gather, their faces alight with hope, then shadowed by fear. His words are treason, they whisper, but they listen still. At first they shield him, farmers hide him in haylofts, weavers smuggle him bread, but the crown's eyes are everywhere. Lord Aldrich, his pride wounded, demands silence. The church, stung by Elias's accusations, brands him a heretic. One moonless night, hooves thunder through Thornvale. Soldiers drag Elias from a widow's cellar, his wrists bound, his face bloodied but unbowed. In a shadowed hall, a secret trial unfolds. The verdict is swift: treason. The sentence is not death, not yet, but something far worse. The king himself decrees it. Elias will be a lesson, a canvas of agony for all to see. As he's chained and led away, the villagers' whispers turn to silence. They know what awaits, and they know they must watch. The town square of Thornvale transforms under a sky bruised with storm clouds. Wooden scaffolds rise like gnarled bones, draped with black cloth to frame the horror to come. The air hums with dread, thick with the scent of damp earth and sharpened steel. The crown has spared no expense. This is no mere execution but a theater of cruelty, a message carved in flesh. Messengers ride through the villages, their decrees chilling. All must attend, from the oldest crone to the youngest babe. Absence is treason, and treason is death. The people shuffle into the square, their faces pale, their hands trembling. They know what whispers have promised, a punishment so vile it defies the mercy of God. The executioners arrive, cloaked in shadow, their tools gleaming with purpose. They are not butchers but artists of agony, trained in the delicate craft of prolonging pain. Their knives, thin as whispers, are laid out on a velvet cloth, blades for slicing, hooks for tearing, pincers for gripping. The crowd murmurs as rumors spread like wildfire. Elias will not be hanged nor burned but skinned, his body peeled layer by layer while he yet breathes. The horror seeps into their bones. Some clutch rosaries, praying for the preacher's soul. Others whisper of his defiance, his refusal to recant. Lord Aldrich watches from a velvet-draped balcony, his eyes glinting with malice. The church's emissary stands beside him, robes pristine, as if untouched by the sin they orchestrate. In the square's center, a sturdy post is driven into the earth, its wood stained from past spectacles. Elias is dragged forth, his body gaunt from days in a damp cell, yet his gaze burns with unyielding fire. The crowd gasps as he's bound, ropes biting into his wrists, his bare chest exposed to the chill. The executioners circle him, their movements deliberate, almost ceremonial. A horn sounds, signaling the dawn's arrival. The spectacle is moments away. The people's breaths catch, their hearts pounding in unison, as if the square itself is a living beast, pulsing with fear and anticipation. What will Elias say when the first blade kisses his flesh? Will he scream, or will his words defy the crown even in his final hour? Dawn breaks over Thornvale, a sickly light filtering through clouds heavy with the promise of rain. The square is a cauldron of dread, the crowd packed so tightly their breaths mingle into a single shuddering gasp. Elias stands bound to the post, his body pale and trembling, yet his eyes blaze with a fire no blade can extinguish. The executioners, cloaked in black, move with chilling precision. Their leader, a gaunt man with fingers like spider legs, selects a blade so thin it catches the light like a shard of ice. The crowd falls silent, the air thick with the stench of fear and sweat. A drumbeat begins, slow and deliberate, each thud a heartbeat counting down to horror. The first cut is shallow, a teasing slice across Elias's chest. Blood beads like rubies, and a woman in the crowd faints, her body crumbling into the dirt. The executioner works slowly, peeling a strip of skin no wider than a quill's tip. Elias's body jerks, but his lips press tight, refusing to give the crown the scream it craves. The blade moves again, carving a second strip, then a third. Each cut is a calculated torment, designed to prolong suffering without granting the mercy of death. The crowd's reactions fracture, some sob, their hands pressed to their mouths, others stare, transfixed, as if the horror has stolen their souls. Children cling to their mothers, their eyes wide, some too young to understand, but old enough to feel the weight of terror. The executioner's tools glint in the dawn's light, curved hooks to lift the skin, pincers to grip and tear. The air grows heavy with the coppery tang of blood and the sour reek of fear. Elias's chest is a map of agony now, muscle glistening beneath flayed skin, each breath a shuddering defiance. The crowd is forbidden to leave. Soldiers line the square, their pikes glinting, their eyes cold. A young boy vomits, the sound drowned by the drum's relentless beat. Lord Aldrich leans forward from his balcony, his smile a slash of cruelty, while the church's emissary whispers prayers that sound like curses. Yet Elias speaks, his voice, cracked and blood-choked, rises above the drum. "You cannot skin the truth," he gasps, each word a dagger. The crowd stirs, a ripple of shock and awe. The executioner pauses, his blade hovering as if the words have pierced him too. But Lord Aldrich's snarl spurs him on, and the knife resumes its dance, carving deeper, slower, each strip a testament to the crown's wrath. Elias's body slumps, his strength waning, but his eyes never falter. They lock onto the crowd, onto the faces of those who once hid him, who once believed. "The kingdom will fall," he whispers, blood bubbling at his lips. The words are a spark in dry tinder, a promise that his pain will not be forgotten. The execution stretches on, hours of meticulous cruelty. Skin hangs in ribbons, pooling at the post's base like a grotesque offering. Some in the crowd scream, their voices raw, while others stand frozen, their minds unraveling. Elias's breaths grow shallow, his body a ruin, yet his spirit clings to defiance. His final whisper, "Truth lives," cuts through the square like a blade. The drum stops, the crowd holds its breath. The executioner steps back, his hands crimson, his work complete. Elias's head falls, but his words linger, a haunting echo that chills the blood of all who hear. The square lies silent now, save for the wind that carries the faint stench of blood and decay. Elias's body, a ravaged husk, remains bound to the post, displayed as a grotesque trophy. The crown's decree is clear: let it rot for days, a warning to any who dare speak as he did. Flies gather, their hum a mocking dirge, as the sun beats down on Thornvale, baking the blood into the earth. The people shuffle past, forced to gaze upon the ruin of the man who once lit their hearts with hope. Some weep in secret, tears hidden behind trembling hands. Others stare blankly, their spirits crushed beneath the weight of fear. The children, those who saw, no longer play in the streets. Their eyes are hollow, their voices stolen by the memory of Elias's agony. Lord Aldrich's banners still flutter above the square, but their colors seem dulled, as if the kingdom itself recoils from its own cruelty. The church's emissary preaches sermons of obedience, but his words falter, drowned by the echo of Elias's final whisper. Truth lives. The town grows quieter, colder, as if the flaying stripped away not just Elias's flesh but the soul of Thornvale. Doors are bolted at night, neighbors avoid each other's eyes, and the market stalls stand half empty. Fear is a heavy cloak, smothering dissent, yet beneath it something stirs. In shadowed corners, in whispered tales by candlelight, Elias's name is spoken, not with reverence, but with a quiet, dangerous awe. Years pass, and the post in the square weathers to splinters, but Elias's shadow lingers. The truth he spoke, of nobles' greed and the church's hypocrisy, takes root like poison in the kingdom's veins. Farmers hoard grain, refusing to pay tithes. Weavers pass secret messages, their looms humming with defiance. Lord Aldrich's feasts grow sparse, his coffers lighter, as whispers of rebellion spread. The church's grip weakens, its pews emptier with each passing Sunday. Elias, the preacher who died in torment, becomes something more, a martyr, his flayed body a symbol of the kingdom's rot. His words, once branded treason, are now a rallying cry, scratched into tavern walls, whispered in rebellion's birth pangs. The crown tries to erase him, scrolls bearing his name are burned, his followers hunted. Yet the harder they strike, the stronger his legend grows. In distant villages, bards sing of the skinned martyr, his flesh a map of truth, his blood a river that feeds rebellion. The kingdom, once a monolith of power, begins to crack. Lord Aldrich's eyes grow haunted, his sleep plagued by visions of Elias's unyielding gaze. The church's emissary flees, his robes no shield against the guilt that gnaws his bones. Elias's death, meant to silence, has instead become a spark, smoldering in the hearts of the oppressed. His body, long since dust, is no longer just flesh, it is the kingdom itself, flayed by its own corruption. His pain is their pain, his defiance their hope. The people who watched him die carry his words like a wound that never heals, a reminder that truth cannot be skinned away. By the time the first banners of revolt rise, Elias's name is a flame, burning through the lies that held Thornvale in chains. The crown thought to break him, to make him a lesson in fear. Instead they carved a legend, one that would outlive their thrones and altars. In death, Elias of Thornvale transcends the frail husk of his mortal form. His flesh, stripped and scattered, becomes the earth itself, each wound a seed sown in the hearts of the broken. The kingdom sought to silence him, to flay his truth into submission, but truth is no mere skin, it is bone, it is blood, it is eternal. His whispered words, truth lives, echo through the centuries, carved not in stone but in the souls of those who dare to dream of justice. The post where he died is gone, crumbled to dust, yet his shadow looms larger than any castle. He is no longer a man but a specter, a memory etched in crimson, a warning to tyrants that no blade can sever hope, and that is what they feared most, not his voice but the fire it kindled, unquenchable, eternal, burning still. If this tale of torment and defiance chilled your blood, if Elias's screams still echo in your mind, then you're one of us, haunted by the dark truths of history. Subscribe for more stories that claw at your soul, and share this video to spread the skinned martyr's legend. Until next time, let the shadows of the past keep you awake.